I am your host with the Lux That Rocks. This is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma, and I am so glad to be joined by royalty as we are rounding out the road to Rocklahoma. I am joined by a legend, Lita Ford. Welcome, Lita.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Very excited.
Absolutely. Just we'll jump right into it. Welcome to Surviving with Rocklahoma. This year's slogan is Our Rocklahoma, and it feels so right to have you here. You're a staple of this festival, having played, 2008 and 19, and now you're going to be on the pre-party with us. What is it about Rocklahoma and Oklahoma rock community that just keeps you coming back?
It's always a great honor to be one of the celebrities at Rocklahoma. And we don't always get to do it every year. So whenever we're invited to come and jam at Rocklahoma, we always give it 100% of our efforts and we're so happy to be on the Thursday night opening up the festival. So, unfortunately, we don't have Dee Snider with us, but we're going to have Sebastian Bach with us on that show. And I've got a great band, and so we're ready to kick ass.
I can't wait. And as you said, it's the pre-party, and there's always something about the pre-party. We always go hard the first
Yeah.
night so that we're not overdoing it the rest of the week. So you guys can expect a rambunctious crowd. Can you tell me a little bit about what we are expecting to see out of that set?
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I have a really fantastic band, and the guys work their asses off, and together we are a force to be reckoned with live. Great rock and roll, high energy, and we're pretty cute too. So, we'll play all your favorite songs, Cherry Bomb, Kiss Me Deadly, and Close My Eyes Forever, which was the duet I sang with Ozzy. And just a lot of fun, a lot of rock and roll, a lot of sweat, and just it's a pleasure to be opening up the party because I know people will be fresh in the game, and at least hopefully they'll be able to make it through our set and not get too, trashed and hot and sweaty, and it's going to be good. It's a great slot, and we're really happy and excited to be there. We're going to kill it.
Tell you what, we'll pace ourselves for the day and then we'll get trashed during your set. And so we'll just
Oh, I
all
like
catch up
that.
with.
Sounds like a plan.
We're all buzzing about this new album that you've got coming out next year. Can you give us a little glimpse of what the sound is like and what, us longtime fans can expect?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had some trouble trying to get it out, or it would have been released already. Uh, Problems with record label stuff. But I think we might have gotten that under control now. And and so we should have the record out hopefully by the beginning of 2026. I hope sooner, but because it's pretty much ready to go. But it's a dark fairy tale record in kind of like like a Shrek, where Shrek meets Fiona and but finds out that she's really an ogre. And it's like, but it's cute, but it's dark. And at the same time, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. It's a concept record. It has a theme all the way through the record. It never lets up. There's lots of characters on the record and some pretty amazing guitar riffs and guitar playing.
So it's fair to say it's like an onion. It's got layers.
Yes, yes, cakes of layers, onions.
Well, that'll do, donkey. So if we get to refer this one as a onion, don't take offense. That's part of the goal, right?
Hey, I'm good with it.
Speaking of, you brought in some amazing talent. You got a. I'm looking on some of the folks that you worked with. I see a Gary Hoey and Max Norman. What was the collaborative process like, and what did each of them bring to the record?
Yeah, Gary Hoey, first of all, has been with me for many years, and he has saved my life time and time again on different occasions. And so I always end up, going, "Hey, Gary, are you around next week? Can I come over and can we record?" He's got the greatest studio and great guitar collection, and then I'll bring a few guitars, and we just have this really magical creative thing that happens between us. It's almost like I'll start a sentence and he finishes it, or vice versa. He'll start a sentence and I finish it. We make a good team in the studio. And so he produced this record. It took a long time to write it and record it, for multiple reasons. He's always on the road. I'm always on the road, and trying to get our time schedules together. We had one of our songwriting partners died in the process, and COVID shut everything down. COVID shut everything down for a year.
That's
So
insane.
like, well, can we get in to do those drum tracks now? No, there's, it's COVID, and then so it was a problem at the time, but we got around it, and all is good. Max Norman mixed the record, and Max's family, we all come from the same place in the rock music industry, and he did a fantastic job. I have Jean Beauvoir on one track that wrote an amazing track, and he is such a great producer, and just really brought that track to life. And now we have Adam Parsons Entertainment, who's managing us, and we're going to find this record a good home. We have a couple of possibilities now, so it's coming soon.
That's
It's coming
awesome.
like movies.
I do want to thank so much to Adam Parsons' group for helping connect us. It's been a pleasure as we navigated the logistics and such. And you mentioned COVID a lot, and I talked a lot about it over the years because it affected artists differently. And you have seen the evolution in the music production over the years, going from radio to the digital age, and now, the internet's taken over and everything's always different, and you have to accept new forms of technology. Did you guys have to incorporate like a lot in working through like Zoom and stuff in your collaborative processes?
Yeah, I have help because I hate it. I'm old school, and that's what I do best, and that's what I know. It frustrates me so much. But we have a really great team of people, like my military man over here, Teddy. He's helped me a lot, hooking stuff up. And we have a great team. We have a great front of house sound man who, he's an older gentleman, but he understands all the technology and sound, and all these boards and digital boards and everything. And then we have one of our guys that runs my website for me. So, we got it all covered. And when all else fails, you can always take your computer out into your driveway and run it over with your truck. That always
That's the
helps.
rock and way, dude. Screw this thing. Turn on the camera and just record it. Throw it in a video.
That's it. See you. Bye-bye.
You mentioned working with some of those tenured and legendary guitarists, and you're a legendary guitarist in your own right. And speaking of COVID, the year after, you've got a your own BC Rich Warlock was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's crazy. What was it? We wanted to be in. I wanted to be in it. And we wanted to induct Lita, and we wanted to induct the Runaways. But the only thing I could get in it was my guitar. at the time. So I think, hopefully we'll be back to induct Lita, but the guitar is pretty badass too. I mean, Maurice is, he's a force to be reckoned with himself. So he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's still an honor. I mean, just an instrument alone. I mean, having that type of a mark on not just an entire genre, but an instrument alone. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
You know, we talk you're attributed to as a trailblazer and a role model for countless musicians. What message do you have for the next generation of women who pick up your albums and they're like, you know what, I want to do this, and they feel that inspiration and they want to chase the dream. What kind of advice would you give to them?
Oh God. It's a pretty hardcore dream to chase. And especially, I mean, the way the Runaways did it in 1976, we were just thrown out on the road. And our first tour we ever did was with the Ramones, 3 months through the United States. And I had never done a tour before. I remember my father picking me up at the airport after we did that tour. I flew into LAX in Los Angeles, and he was able to meet me at the gate. And when I got off the plane, I looked at my father and just went, "Oh, Dad!" He laughed at me. He thought it was funny. I thought, you know what? Fuck this. I never cried again because rock and roll actually has saved my life, like we were saying to the veterans. It has saved my life on multiple occasions, and it continues to save my life. But I think the way for these young girls to do and be somebody in the rock world is, I mean, you have to have a certain amount of street knowledge, I think, and learning things off the internet is helpful, but it's not always the way to learn things 100%. Um, you know, get out and go to clubs, get out and see other bands play, and jam with your neighbor and jam with your buddy up the street, and learn from these people. Get off the internet and see what you can find and see what you can learn, and not just about music, but learn about yourself and whatever it is that you love and that you're good at, bring that to life and try to be original. It's so difficult to be original now today in 2025 because everything's been done, pretty much, but not everything, but almost everything. So there's got to be a little bit of a gap there where things are different, colors and hairdos and I mean, even if you go back to being like sounding like a 70s band, I mean, that might not be such a bad thing. Learn to play your instruments. And instruments meaning, not just a guitar, but learn your amplifiers and learn your pedals and, you know, don't be afraid to break things and take things apart and then throw them all back together and see if you can make them work. And if they can't, maybe they come back in a different shape and form and it might be pretty cool. I know it sounds weird, but
No,
you
I agree with that completely, and I think that is such true advice. We'd been doing broadcasting for 10 years. We done it ourselves, self-produced. I always told folks that the radios aren't going to hire me, so I'll make one myself. And as we took on our photographer a couple of years ago, we've taken a lot of lessons from the artists, the bands we work with, the grind, and it is the nature of collaboration opens so many opportunities, but folks also don't understand how many no's you get and how many hiccups and curveballs you get. And it can be truly hard to continue chasing those dreams when it looks like you got a lot of closed doors. Um,
but
do
that's
you?
okay because don't
Yeah.
just Never lose focus on your dream and who you are. All the no's in the world, you just go, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, and keep chasing that dream. Keep moving forward. And that's why you've got your studio so beautiful today and your
Oh,
radio setup and
thank you
pod.
so much. And you've talked a lot about the community. And before we run out of time, I'd like to shine some light on the some of your more community-oriented um, projects that you have going on. Can you tell me a little bit about some of those organizations you work with?
We always try to support, we always try to support health and wellness. And we did one not that long ago with teenage suicides in the area, and just try to donate time and effort towards cancer awareness. And we do a lot of things for Ronnie James Dio's event, always, every year. Wendy Dio never drops the ball because Ronnie should still be here. And cancer just takes away too many people in this world. And anything we can do to help support children, our veterans, uh, sick people, I mean, we all need help once in a while. Everybody needs a helping hand. So anything we can do, I'm
We
down.
absolutely. We appreciate everything that you do for the music industry, continuing to play your music, and especially for kicking off the festival with us next week on the DEB concert stage inside the Roadhouse. Lita, I've only got a couple minutes left with you, but I like to wrap up every interview by giving my guest the opportunity to look directly at the camera and talk to your fans, the folks who are going to be coming to see you next week. Lita, the stage is yours.
Oh God. Okay. I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Uh-huh. Come on, you guys. It ain't no big thing. So I'm gonna ask everybody to help me sing on Thursday night, and we're gonna have a badass time. We're gonna kick off Rocklahoma. I'm gonna be there with you guys, and I look forward to looking into your souls from the stage. We're gonna do this. Let's rock the place. We'll see you on Thursday. Yeah, baby. Bring your best horns. It's gonna be sexy.
I love it. Thank you so much, Lita. I appreciate that so much. For Lita Ford, I am Adam Richmond, your host with the Lux That Rocks for the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. And until next week, rock on.
Rock on.